Welcome back to the Virtual Speed Performance YouTube channel. It is 2024. I haven't seen you guys in a year now, but guess what? We're back. We are back in business. It is 2024. It is time to get this thing rolling. First things first, I have graduated from the poverty jacks, everybody. I've graduated from the poverty jacks. Kind of doing some Mustang stuff right now, and as you guys know, we just had some old jack stands in a jack, so I call them poverty jacks because everybody uses pro jacks and stuff with these cars. But look what we got going on. You got the Mustang up on well, you know, not poverty jacks, so I'm kind of doing some stuff to it. We actually got the belts back I don't know, a couple weeks ago. Seat belts, I set those seat belts way back in January, and I got them back or not way back in January, way back before the snowbirds, and they got lost in the mail, and that made us miss the snowbirds. Well, that was one of the big reasons we missed it, because I didn't have seat belts. So damn airplane. So I have seatbelts now, recerted, good for another year or two. Buddy, so we got the Mustang up on not poverty jacks. They do match. Look at that. Look at that. They do match. Look at that, everybody. Woo-wee. And I can't believe how tall they are, honestly. It is astronomical how tall they are, and how tall they put the car up height-wise. But they look pretty daggum cool. Looks pretty professional. I got the battery charger. Honestly, we haven't even done much since we put, because if you remember, we put the battery from this in the Camaro. So the Camaro got a new a newish XS battery, and I bought a new battery from www.virtualspeedperformance for the Mustang here, and I'm charging it up. I don't know. All right, so while I have the Mustang up in the air, I've kind of been cleaning it up a little bit. I'm going to put the new belts in, and I've just been shop vacuuming the inside, because I mean there's a bunch of dirt in here, I mean just from running it and stuff like that. But we're going to clean her up and rotate the motor and get them off that off of the one side of the valve springs and stuff like that. I mean, there's some maintenance we got to do. Even with the car sitting, you got to do maintenance. The seat in, Zeus is in, seat belts in, and kind of wax the interior. Got some of the wax these bars, carbon fiber pieces, vacuumed out the floor of any dirt, dust, anything really, you know, any of the stuff that accumulates in here when you wear shoes or pants. But I got this side. I was a little worried about that, but it just says it's cloudy. Got this side cleaned up. Inside there, right there gets a lot of dirt and grime in where the drive shaft tunnel is. Cleaned up the tubs a little bit. The rocker panel always gets dirty. Gonna move up here, kind of clean it up a little bit. So I got the fuel pump back on because we had it off for a reason I don't even remember. Got the fuel pump back on, got all the lines hooked up to the regulators and the carburetor, got the fuel line hooked up to the fuel cell, got the engine bay area shined up, take a look-see. Woo-wee, look at that. But we got the fuel pump back on, got the inside cleaned up. I don't know if I've showed you guys that, but I just finished changing jets. I went to 110s. There was 118s in there, but they're 118 Braswell jets. These ones are like a regular Holley, and the regular Holley ones are the regular Holley 110s. They look a little bit bigger than the Braswell 118s. So I feel like I'm going to end up changing those out again, the smaller jets. But I'm going to put some fuel, some C in the some C16 in the fuel cell, and I am gonna prime the fuel system and make sure there's no leaks. I'm a little worried because that pump's been dry, and if you leave those pumps dry, there's like a weep hole. The seal there will shrink. There's shrinkage, so it's like getting in a pool. So hopefully that weep hole, the rubber seal, didn't shrink up and leak. But I do have a rebuild kit for a MagnaFuel on hand. All right, so it is a good thing I had that rebuild kit, because guess what? Shrinkage, everybody, shrinkage. Like, throw it. I don't know if I will fix it. He's in bad mood. Fuck! I really want to just, you know. You know. Why do you feel the need to throw it? Huh?
No, out there she can throw you. You can say throwing out last year's bullshit.
Man. Throwing out last year's bullshit.
Now we can all have flat tires when we park there.
It don't even look like it broke. Look, now it spins. Now it's pivotal. It's a pivotal TV. You can have it sitting right here and go like that. It's like Michael Scott on The Office.
It's got a plasma.
I got plasma. Oh, you got company over? Well, if they need to see it, just move it like that. So just put your foot on the gas pedal, put it on the gas pedal just a little bit, because it needs to have a little bit.
That's a lot of gas.
Yeah, that's a lot of gas.
You're hossing the gas right now.
All right.
I'm not even touching it.
over. You just hit that, and then when you start to hear it crank, let off.
Fuel pump's not on.
Huh?
Fuel pump.
So this is the fuel pump. Flip it up, and then.
End of view. Okay.
Well, we have solved some issues. We solved the starter issue.
Starter? Oh yeah.
Yeah?
And the thing's not revving to the moon and back when you first fire it.
Well, that's because I took that bullshit.
Well, again, it's an issue solved.
Yeah, I agree. We are, I don't know, problem solving. Also, you get the steering hook back up. That's a big one.
Well, with that one cylinder consistently being dead, now I'm wondering if that was consistently unplugged.
That's what I was thinking.
But considering this side of the motor seems to go dead,
Well, look at
good.
All right, so this morning I'm going to wreak some havoc in the neighborhood with my 4-cylinder Camaro. It's supposed to be running on 8, but it's not. I have this thing, this little spark tester from an MSD tester. You know, the plug wire goes on here. The plug wire goes on here. Spark comes out there. I'm going to try it on each of the coils and see what coils have spark and don't have spark. I'm running out of ideas. I don't know if I hope it's not ECU related, because that's, you know, then I have to send it back and all kinds of riffraff. I'm really thinking maybe it's just a ground somewhere. I changed out the crank sensor, the crank position or the crank sensor last night, fired up, nothing. Yeah, so if this stuff was easy, everybody would do it. And, you know, I figured I'd just add it in the videos, because, you know, it's real world stuff, you know. I mean, fighting an issue like this, it's real world, you know, problem. So figured why not. Okay, so I got the little spark plug simulator. It is on the number 2 coil. So number 2 should be firing if we have fire on this side. Two 468 has coils do have spark. So now that we know that, now we know that the coils aren't bad. I'm gonna go over to the other side now and see what happens. All right, so these coils have spark. All the evens do, the odds not so much. So number 1 has fire, number 3 does not have fire, number 5 does not have fire, number 7 does not have fire. So I put all the plug wires on, and I'm gonna let it run, unplug the coil wires, and see if there's a tone difference in the engine. popped the old cam sensor out. Here it is. Kind of take a looky-loo. It is just a Napa. Here's the part number. All right. So the cam sensor is changed. I am going to reset the bass tune and the Holley just to be safe. That way it's all if it needs to configure that sensor and all that. So well, here goes nothing. It seems like it's jump sides. Because now I have a massive puddle of fucking raw fuel over here. Here's our massive puddle, just... raw fuel. See it fucking dripping out. I fired it up with the new cam sensor, and well, the dead cylinders came over here to the driver's side. Even, you know, what's funny though is, like, I was thinking is I reprogrammed the bass tune and with a little wizard calibration thing. So I don't know. But what I'm doing right now is I wiped the SD card clean and the little handheld thing, and I'm gonna honestly reinstall the firmware on the ECU, and maybe, you know, maybe there's maybe there was a corrupt file somewhere. So I'm gonna try that. So just process of elimination, I guess, you know. All right, so the firmware is being updated in the ECU. I got the little handheld thing doing its thing. So I have a stethoscope. I'm gonna listen to the injectors, see what I hear, see if they're pulsing. I'm gonna fire it up. I have the self-learn portion of it off. I also have this wideband plugged in. I fired it up, I don't know, about an hour ago, and it sounded way better. Actually, it sounded like it was kind of hitting on all 8. I just didn't film it for some odd reason. Honestly, because I didn't think it would sound any different. But we're gonna fire it up and see what happens. So here we go. So we're gonna fire it up, see what happens. Alright guys, so this is my last fire up, at least on video. It is 4:30. I've been working on this thing since 10. So, and I probably fired it up maybe, honestly, I lost count. So I added another ground strap. Sounds better, honestly. I've done a ton of stuff, which I'll go over here, you know, later. But honestly, I'm really thinking it's the wideband right this very second in time, because, you know, I've done everything from the crankshaft sensor, the cam sensor. I've cleared the ECU, the firmware. I've reinstalled it. I'm doing a little bit of everything. So honestly, the thing that makes the most sense is the wideband here. Maybe it's a bad wideband, I don't know. But I have it to the where closed loop is off. So at least I think I'm saying that correctly. So one last time, let's try it again for today, because I'm tuckered out, to be honest. All right. Alright guys, my eyes are watery. Honestly, it sounded better. 8 sounds a little, honestly, 8, we already have our Valentine's Day decorations up. We're about as bad as Walmart. So 8 is a little weird. When I unplug the coil, it doesn't sound no different, but there's still some, you know, when I put the water on the header, it sizzles. Also, honestly, that wideband, that AFR sensor's gotta be it. Gotta be it. I plugged it in, dead. I mean, you could hear the tone difference. I don't know if you can hear it in the video, but you could definitely hear the tone difference in the motor when I plug in the wideband. So honestly, I think I'm gonna order a wideband from virtualspeedperformance.com. They ship it pretty fast. But yeah, so I think a wideband is gonna be on deck here. My eyes and nose are stuffed up from the friggin' fumes. But so I think a wideband is gonna be on order here in the next day, because I think that's the culprit, to be honest. Which is crazy to me, because you know it's brand new. You know what I mean? It's brand new. I don't understand why it would go bad. You know. I mean, unless I had it zip tied wrong, or you know, then it's possible. I don't know how finicky that stuff is. I have the wideband zip tied on the Mustang, because we have I have 2 AFR sensors down in the collector for the MSD grid, and I mean it's zip tied. So I don't know, maybe it was just at a wrong angle, but I think the AFR sensor is bad, because like I said, when I plug it, like, it runs fine without it plugged in. Plug it in, not so good. So AFR sensor from Virtual Speed Performance, go ahead and add it to cart and check out. So that'll pretty much do it for this video. I thank you guys so much for watching. Happy New Year's. I hope it is going to be a great year for every one of you. You know, do some race car stuff, and whatever you like to do, you know what I mean? But that is it for the first video of 2024 on the Virtual Speed Performance YouTube channel. I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.